imagine natural. Ready? Take aim. Fire. Shoulder off. Right about. Wait. 4 steps in front. Fire. Shoulder off.
Why did they grab their pouches when they turned around? They all did it.
First time?
Well, when they
Right
began to turn, after they fired,
Okay.
they all turned and they had their hand on that pouch.
When I give the command, right about face?
Yes, sir.
Shall I demonstrate?
Go right ahead.
Right about
Watch the
face.
cartridge box. See that? It flails out.
I see.
Kind of like a skirt. And you
Yeah.
twist it, twist it like this. And when you put the hand on it, you don't lose it until you come about. So, also too, is that a lot of times the cartridge flap may not be latched down. So if you swung around, you may lose the cartridge.
Gotcha.
Any other questions? The white bag? Oh, you want to explain that?
It's my lunchbox. This is our lunchbox. You carry in here your fork, your spoon, and your knife, and I got it here. It's a good big cup because I like big drinks when I'm having my lunch. And you go ahead and carry 3 days' food in there. Apparently a piece of roast. I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's my canteen. That carries my water. This is my canteen. It carries my water in there so I can take a drink. Look, right here.
There's real water in it.
Well,
Not right now.
not right now.
Drink it all.
But
It all went in that big cup.
yeah. Been in this canteen. Excuse me? I need to.
Any other questions? Yeah. So you get an idea how it was difficult to fire these muskets, and again, these men were trained to fire these 3 rounds per minute. It's about 1 every 20 seconds. Really good men can fire 4. The one difference being, again, these were smooth bore, so there's no rifling in the barrel. It just makes it load quicker and fire down range. The rifles, there were rifle companies in the militia and in the U.S. Army. It takes about a minute to load a rifle because you got to put the patch on, you got to cut it, start it with a ball starter, then start it with a ramrod, and get it all the way down, make sure it's really seated well. Then you prime your pan. So it takes a lot longer to load it.
Did the officer have to command them every time, or did, once that they commenced firing, did they do it on their own speed?
Well, there were you saw where I gave them the count,
Right.
the load by the count. Then there was a prime and load, which once they loaded, they came back to the shoulder and waited for my command to fire. Now, if I wanted to continue a continuous round of fire, I would have said prime and load, fire at will.
Okay.
So as soon as they were loaded, they would have fired the muzzle. But the thing about prime and load is they come to the ready, and we can do a volley fire. Because with these muskets, your most effective shots or firing is going to be a volley fire. Say you had 100 men in a company, okay, you're going to fire, hopefully, you're going to have 100 balls going down range, rather than having 2 or 3 here, or 4 or 5 here, that type of thing. And one other interesting note about the bullets that we fired in this time period is usually called a buck and ball cartridge, mostly, and that's a round ball, lead ball with 3 buckshot on top. They figured out it was better to have 4 projectiles going down range to hit your enemy rather than just one big ball that could do its own little thing. As a matter of fact, up in the Canada campaigns, the Canadian officers were complaining about us using that type of cartridge because their men were being wounded by the buckshot rather than being killed by the round ball. They thought it was an ungentlemanly way of fighting war. So, anyway, a little quick trigger there. They're about, effective range is about 75 yards. In other words, like you pretty much can hit what you're shooting at, okay? A man-sized target, okay? Anything beyond that, it starts to get iffy. I mean, I've seen where people can hit 100-yard targets, but it drops off real quick. Beyond that. Yes? Why do they have feathers in their hat? Well, it's called a plume, and it's purely decoration. Make them all look the same. Make them look. I guess you could say the uniforms of the time period. Everybody's familiar with the Napoleonic period, Napoleon, the French emperor, and all that. They had real fancy uniforms back then. That's why I've got what I have. Okay, it was real fancy. They wore the hats, the fancy clothes, uniforms, and that was part of the uniform of that. So that's why they have feathers now. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Can they demonstrate how to fix bayonets?
All right, we can do that.
That was his next question. Why do you have swords?
Oh, swords. Okay. Shoulder, arm. Now, port arm. Don't forget that. Okay. What's different between the Revolutionary War period and 1812 is in a command called port arms. So I will give them port arms. Well, listen, man, you got to train them all the time.
Bad, bad.
Fix, bayonet. So you're going to basically reach up and grab it. There you go. We didn't see that.
No, I don't know. We can see it through it all.
All right. Shoulder, arm. I think I gave you four arms. Now command me. Port, arms. Charge, bayonet. Now, if you can imagine, the third rank's going to be back there. They're going to bring their musket straight up. So you've got your straight, angled, and angle like this. This will be eye level. Shoulder, arm.